So what if we need to find the initial or the final position? Well, we're going to have to do something a little bit different, not very different, but a little bit different. Most of the questions, in fact, I don't think you're going to have any questions where you have to find the initial position, but if you needed to, it would be very simple, and you might notice that there's a typo. My bad. Right there. It says speed, but it means position. You should cross that out and fix that right now. Okay? Oops. It happens. There's another typo literally right below it where it says example 3 and you have a big blank space. You should write in this example once you can see all of it. It says you are running a race on a 1,000 meter straight track. You start at the 275 meter mark and run at a speed of 2.5 meters per second for 60 seconds. What is your position after 1 minute? You'll be able to see that whole question here in just a minute. Without my hands in the way too. And then you'll be able to write that down. Okay. My bad for those 2 typos. I don't know how that happened. I was probably sleepy. It happens. Okay, so we need to find the final or the initial position. We just have to first remember that to find, the delta x, I think I just erased that. Delta x is the final minus the initial, And so if we take that final minus the initial and we stick it right into that equation right there, we will end up with this. Delta x minus, xf minus xi equals vt. And then all we have to do is we have to get xf by itself, okay? And we do that by adding xi to both sides, that's an I, of the equation. Just like that. That's an I too. There we go. And when we do that, this is what our equation looks like. xf equals v times t plus xi. And then it's important to remember that the v times, that's an eraser. The v times the t has to happen before you add the xi. Otherwise, you may end up with wrong numbers. Your calculator is more likely to do that one correctly. Okay. So let's look at our example here. Let me erase all these things. So the 1,000 meter straight track is just some extra information telling you how long the track is to begin with. Okay. But you're starting at the 275 meter mark. That's your initial position. And you're running with a speed of 2.5 meters per second. That is your velocity. And you're going for 60 seconds. That is your time. It's asking what is your initial position or your final position after 1 minute. That word after is where you know that it's the final position, xf, after 1 minute. So there's the whole question that you can write down now. Pause so that you can write it down. And then we'll be able to answer the question. We have to do all those 3 things now. We have to write the formula without any numbers in it. There it is. xf equals v times t plus xi. And now I have to put our numbers in. So v times t is the first thing I'm going to write down. That's going to be the 2.5 times the 60 seconds. Meters per second and seconds, those match. They both have seconds in them, so I don't have to change any numbers. So it's just going to be 2.5 times 60. And then I'm going to add in the initial position, which is the 275 right there. Okay, so that's what it's going to look like under this orange here. 2.5 meters per second times 60. Those seconds are going to go away just like it did right up here. Whoops, I just erased it instead. Right up here to get the meters. And then we're going to add that to 275 meters. And when I plug that into my calculator, I got 425 meters. So that is the final position.